Here's the twisted truth. They never wanted you when you were available, but the moment you stopped begging, they started chasing. Why? Because distance triggers obsession, because silence makes noise in their head, and because in the dark corners of the mind, the thing we can't have becomes the thing we crave the most. In this video, we're going deep into the dark psychology of distance, rejection, and reverse manipulation. We'll break down why pulling away suddenly makes people obsessed with you, even when they didn't value you before. It's not love, it's not fate, it's power. And once you understand this, you'll never beg for attention again. Humans are wired to chase what retreats. It's an ancient instinct. When something becomes scarce, the brain labels it as valuable, even if we once took it for granted. It's called the scarcity principle, a manipulation tool used in marketing, dating, and even war. Pull away and suddenly, your silence becomes seductive. Psychologists call it reactance, the uncomfortable feeling when we sense our freedom of choice is being taken away. When you walk away, you remove access, and that triggers panic in their subconscious. They start to remember things they ignored. They replay your words. They wonder why they didn't appreciate you when they had the chance. But here's where it gets dark. Most people don't chase because they miss you. They chase because they lost control. You were predictable, always there, always responding. And then one day, silence. Now they're not chasing a person, they're chasing the feeling of control you took away. This is why toxic people become obsessed the moment you stop caring. They don't want your love. They want to own your attention again. It's an ego war, not a love story. Let's go even deeper. There's something called the Zeigarnik effect, a psychological phenomenon where people remember incomplete experiences more intensely than completed ones. When you walk away without closure, their brain loops that memory like a broken tape. They can't stand the unfinished business. They crave a response. They want to win. This is why they text you after weeks of silence, why they stalk your stories, why they suddenly miss you, not because they love you, but because you left the game without letting them score. You became a cliffhanger in their life, and cliffhangers always demand attention. Here's where things flip. What if I told you distance itself can be used as a manipulation tool? It's called intermittent reinforcement. It's when attention is given inconsistently, enough to keep you hooked, but never enough to feel safe. This is how narcissists train their victims. Pull away, give breadcrumbs, come back. Each cycle deepens the emotional addiction. When you walk away, you break that pattern. You become the one holding the emotional leash. And they feel that power shift, hard. Even healthy people feel it, because our brains are addicted to closure, to patterns, to resolution. Distance, it breaks that, and that's why they spiral. Here's the coldest part. They didn't change. They're not suddenly in love. They just lost their source of validation. When you gave them attention, they felt powerful. When you withdrew it, they felt invisible. So they chase. Not because you're the one, but because they can't stand the idea of being unchosen. It's not about healing, it's about ego. And the moment you respond, the game resets. So the next time someone starts chasing you the moment you walk away, ask yourself, do they really love you? Or do they just miss the version of you who put them first? Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Let the silence speak. Let the distance teach. Let them taste the emptiness they once gave you. And if they come back, watch their intentions. Because anyone can chase, but only the real ones stay. Want to know something even darker? Some people only value you in your absence. They never saw you as a person, only as a source of emotional energy. They fed off your consistency, your replies, your good heart. And the moment you unplug that emotional supply, they panic. This is called emotional objectification. It's when a person sees you not as human, but as a tool to meet their emotional needs. They don't love you. They love what you give them. Validation, admiration, comfort. So when you walk away, they don't miss you. They miss the service. The dark psychology behind this is chilling. It's the same mental process that drives hoarders, addicts, and even abusers. The object loses meaning the moment it's not accessible, and the brain starts to obsess over regaining it, not because of love, but because of emotional dependency. When they chase you, it's often not romantic, it's desperation, withdrawal symptoms from no longer being your priority. And here's the scariest part. Once you give them access again, they'll feel satisfied and lose interest. That's why the cycle repeats. They only chase when they feel they've lost you. They only love the illusion of losing you, not you. So choose peace over panic. Choose stillness over proving your worth. Because once you master the power of distance, you stop being someone they chase and start being someone they can never replace. Now lean in, because this last part, it's the hardest to accept. Some people don't miss you at all. They just miss what you tolerated. They miss the version of you who apologized first, who stayed awake just to fix things they broke, who gave second, third, fourth chances until you had none left for yourself. And when you finally walk away, they don't respect it, they resent it. Because in their twisted reality, you owe them your energy. And here's where it gets sinister. They will try to guilt you back. They'll say things like, "You've changed," or "You gave up too easily." Not because they care, but because they want access again. They want to press rewind to a time when they had emotional power over you. This tactic is called emotional baiting. They throw out guilt, nostalgia, fake apologies, anything to pull you back into orbit. But don't fall for it. Because real change doesn't start with a text that says, "I miss you." It starts with accountability, with time, with action, and most importantly, with respect. If they didn't respect you when you were close, they don't deserve you now that you're distant. Your silence is sacred, your peace is power, and your distance, it's the boundary they never thought you'd have the courage to create. So keep walking. Let them chase shadows. Because when someone loses access to your energy, that's when they finally realize you were never just a person. You were the light they thought would never dim. But now, it's dark, and they're the ones who taught you how to disappear.